Abeokuta, the Ogun state capital, is touted to have evolved in all ramifications. Despite Christianity, Islam and modernity, Abeokuta perhaps remains a reference point in terms of traditional practices. Ironically, the town, with its preponderance of churches and Islamic worship centers, still has its major and popular T-Junctions, replete with Propitiation and Atonement. In this special report, correspondent Felix chronicles some of the T-Junctions and Roundabout popular for the placement of Propitiation and Atonement and its attendant effect on the people.
Abeokuta, the capital of Ogun State, is arguably the first town to have contact with Christianity through the missionaries led by Henry Touted. And the first church in Nigeria, St. Peter Cathedral, Ake, was built in the town. Apart from that, Abeokuta and by extension, Egba land is touted to have evolved and run the first modern government, Egba United Government, even before the entity called Nigeria. While Christianity had brought with it Western education, which had enabled Abeokuta to score many firsts in several human endeavors, the latter had given the town the needed exposure to play pivotal roles during pre-independence and post-independence Nigeria. From Sam Ewang Estate Junction, Central Bank Junction, Itaoshin Roundabout, Quarry Road, Obada U-turn to Olumori Roundabout, these junctions are always decorated with atonement items. Apart from being close to notable worship centers, the junctions are located in the city, which boasts of several offices, business centers, and hotels. Speaking with clerics of different faiths, they give insights on what atonement means, noting that the act is not only against the commandment of God, but unclean spiritual practices.
The Old Testament has a foundation, of course, in Judaistic religion. But a better understanding is what we have, for instance, in, like I said, all of this, we can group them under the concept of atonement. Yes, atonement is readily available. We find some excerpts of that in the Old Testament. But in the New Testament, the concept of so-called sacrifice, changed, because now it's not human beings that are sacrificing this time to appease God. It is God that is sacrificing.
This is one of the problems and one of the challenges that we are facing in our society. This society are still suffering from that kind of ignorance. We call them ignorance, al-jahala or al-jahiliya.
The Oba Ishegun in Abeokuta, Are Ololade Sunday, he says propitiation and atonement are always the best to eradicate any life challenges being faced by human beings. On his part, University Don and philosopher Dr. Emmanuel Akintono says there are implications on people who cite these propitiations.
The sacrifice, everybody is doing the sacrifice, including Christians, including Muslims. But the way we do it is quite different from each other. By giving the beggars money, it's a sacrifice.
Implications. Because from the tradition, there are some that you don't need to have sight of. There are some that, people that put it there had some kind of belief attached to them. So putting it there, apart from the fact that it affects the aesthetic value of the environment, spiritually, it affects people.
The question remains, despite civilization, can there be an end to propitiation?
People have not come out of civilization, but the problem is that perhaps it still stops their problem. Because people go for it because of certain problems that they think they are having. If it has not continued solving their problem, they will have put a stop to it. But what we are saying is that at this age of civilization, they should have refined it, because not everybody that believes in it.
We need it mostly. For example, you see this one will be going on the way, getting accident. If it goes to traditional doctor, they play oracle, the oracle will go straight that they should go and sacrifice god of iron. Immediately he do this, he will not get accident again.
Despite Christianity and Islam being the most dominant religion, one thing is certain, that worshippers of these two dominant religions still seek for traditional solutions to life problems and challenges. John Felix, Galaxy News, Abeokuta, Ogun State.
You're watching the news on Ghana.